Brian writes, there's fault on both sides, more so on the parent. Keena writes, I agree with Brian, because that's the big debate now. See, now a couple things are happening. One, nationally, we are debating the ethics of zoos, the morality of holding these animals out of their nature to make money. Or is it to spread education? How do you look at a Cincinnati? How do you view a zoo? Are those places where they are basically snatching animals from their children, snatching animals from their natural habitat, and then forcing them into captivity to make money? Okay, that's one. On the other, you've got these are basically educational institutions. And sure, maybe there is some monetization going on, but that's to cover the costs. That's to spread education. I mean, how many kids go through a zoo and see animals for the first time, pet an animal for the first time, start learning about animals and things like that? Okay, what do you think about that? That's off the top. Secondly, how wrong is mom and dad? Mom in this case. How much blame does she have? Now, in full disclosure, I did send her a message with the hopes of connecting with her. I offered her to come on this platform to discuss it. And she, to this point, let me double check here. To this point, I do not believe that she has responded. Okay. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't think, she hasn't responded to this point. She may never respond. Because people are coming after her now. Listen, we got a lot of ground to cover. Many things. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Did you hear DMX go off? I've got the clip for you. And I did not edit it. I mean, editing DMX just seems, it just seems really wrong. Okay. But I'll let everybody know before we play it, if we play it this morning. Okay. So you can make sure the room is appropriate. Nathan Ivey with you on a beautiful day in the city of Cincinnati. It's Memorial Day, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Well, good morning and welcome back. Yeah, we are on this morning. I know many of you may have been wondering what we'll be on today. Absolutely. Nate Ivey with you and the good folks at Superlative Media. Today is Memorial Day. Perhaps you've got the day off. You got one of those jobs. Well, great for you. Yeah. Or perhaps you're working today. Your routine has not been interrupted by today's federal holiday, Memorial Day, where we fake act like we give a damn about those who are in our armed services. The way a politician can really show that they care about the military is not beefing up the American military. It's protecting soldiers, making sure you only deploy them when it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. Every man and woman matters. Good morning. Welcome back. National news. I'm on CNN, their breaking news page. Guess what the top story is? Hell, the top two stories. Could gorilla have been saved too? ? And a video of gorilla drags boy in moat. You don't see that every day. I saw the video of this gorilla, and I don't know, maybe gorillas have a bad rap because of the way they get played in popular culture. Maybe that's what it is. Like when you think of a gorilla, you think of King Kong. Big, ferocious. Or you think of like Mighty Joe Young or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. But you can see this. Can you imagine as a parent, you go to the zoo and your kid falls into the gorilla exhibit and then you see your child being dragged around? And I've watched it like many times. I can't even count. And then I'm thinking like, okay, well, that's just how they roll with gorilla babies. They just drag them, I guess. Some people are saying that the gorilla was actually trying to protect that child. I watched a woman in local news this morning. She was an eyewitness. Matter of fact, she was the woman whose video has become so popular. And she says all she heard was the splash. So this kid fell straight into the water. He's lucky he's alive. That's number one, because that's a hell of a jump. That's a hell of a jump. Because if it was any lower, the gorillas would be like, I'm off this job. To hell off this plantation. I'm out of here. That's a hell of a fall. Could you see your child doing something like that? Or maybe when your kid was a child? Junior's like 16 months. So it's like, wow. He's at that age where, this boy thinks he can walk down the steps. He just go walking down the steps. Forward. He just walks down the steps. And I'm like, man, the only reason why you are not everywhere in 1,000 pieces rolling around is because I'm holding you. But that's how kids are at that age. They think they're just straightforward, especially little boys, I'm hearing. That is deep. Who is to blame for this? Who is to blame for this? Cruther's writing, good morning, brown skin in the house. And then she writes, a memorial for the gorilla that they killed. Unbelievable. Right, there's a memorial today, I believe, on Vine Street. And a part of me thought, well, maybe I'll go to Harambe's memorial. Maybe I will. Yeah, maybe I will. That's newsworthy. Perhaps I will. Perhaps I won't. Is that going over the top, a memorial? Is that like trying to like if you really gave a damn about Harambe, why didn't you have a protocol in place for that? Come on now. You know the zoo has a protocol in place for when people fall into the lion's den. Or you got to. You've got to. So in a moment like this, everything should be questioned. Everything. Every protocol, every safety barrier on every exhibit needs to be questioned. It needs to be tested. It needs to be see if it's child-proofed. They need to check for weathering. And I'm sure they do this on a regular basis. But everything is in question right now. How is it possible for a kid to crawl underneath something, crawl through something, and find themselves in a gorilla exhibit? With all those kids that go through that park on a regular basis, I bet you they're over 1 million. I bet you it's over 1 million. This is deep. Who do you blame? Who do you blame? Good morning, Avery. How you doing? What's up, Wanda? Good morning. What's up, Brent? What's up, Deborah? She writes, good morning, everyone. What a weekend. Yes, sir. If you are a fan of the NBA, then you now found out, and I didn't know this was scientifically possible. I didn't know that thunder could collapse. I did not know that thunder could collapse. Game 7 tonight at the place where they call it the Oracle. The Oracle. That's where the Golden State Warriors, that is where they play. That's their facility. Game 7 tonight because Kevin Durant choked. Russell Westbrook choked. And, hey, now you got a Game 7. Now, personally, I'm loving it. Because as many games as possible before we get to the long, hot desert. I call it the sports desert. No football, professional football. No professional basketball. It ain't good. So who do you think is going to win tonight? Do you believe that the Thunder now have the momentum, if you're a sports fan, or do you believe that OKC is going to rise from the ashes of their own despair? I read that the term was used, dejection, in their locker room afterward, and rightly so, because, you're up 3-1 with a chance to go see Bron again, and you below it, you collapse? Not good. Not good. Ashley writes, good morning, Team NI. Good to see you, Ashley. Welcome. Good morning, Ms. D. Good to see you. Kenny writes, give thanks to all the veterans and current military fam. I appreciate all you have done and continue to do for all of us. Hashtag Team Navy Veteran, my king husband, Mr. G. Hughes. Absolutely. Much respect. She writes, yep, we are always up early, but we did sleep in a little late the past few days and didn't wake up until 6 a.m. this morning. Yay. Good morning, Brittany. Good to see you. Good morning, Brian. Whom do you blame, folks? Everyone around the nation is talking about this story. Everyone across the country has an opinion about this story. I want to get your story. We live in Cincinnati. Many of you have taken your children to that zoo. Hell, little Buddha, sometime this week, they're going to have the Marvin Lewis. Yeah, I had to throw that in. My baby made it. Marvin Lewis Scholarship Fund. Yes, absolutely. That is her goal every year. And she was successful. But they're holding, one of the rewards that the children earn with their academic merit and discipline and effort is they get a chance to go to the zoo. And, we go every single year. That's just, if you got children, that's the thing that you do. If you don't have children, perhaps you take your wifey to the zoo, basically. But they call it in Christmas. What do they call that? The Festival of Lights. The Festival of Lights. And, hey, I'm sure it's a lot of fun. Is there some liability with the Cincinnati Zoo in your opinion? Do you believe that the mother should be charged for negligence? I mean, let's be real here. Tracy writes, I can't fault the zoo for forcing animals into captivity as long as I pay my money to go. I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, listen, everybody loves the zoo. That's why questions that I pose, some people may think they're harsh. That's because we've just been trained locally not to think about it that way. But we've got to have these conversations. Okay? These are the questions that need to be answered. How do you view a zoo? Is a zoo a place where people can go and get educated, have their first time experience with the monkeys? You can pet a donkey for the first time in your life. Are these important moments in, again, the educational process of our children? Or is this just a place where they're monetizing having captured some animals? Okay. I think that's a huge girth, but I think I'm accurate. Okay, I think I'm accurate and in a way I think anybody can accept and agree with. Every right, sat at home and watched X-Men The Apocalypse, 13 hours, and Captain America, and grilled T-bone, and had some beers. My weekend was nice. Sounds like it. That's a hell of a weekend right there. Brian writes, it wouldn't happen, first of all, but I'm jumping in and handling my business. Only child. Okay. Cruther writes, I steamed my carpet, cleaned my oven, cooked, and having my car washed today. Damn. All this morning or over the weekend? Devin writes, I've seen the entire video several times now. It was difficult to watch, and I blame the parents. I know small children move very fast, but it is the parents' responsibility to watch and protect them. Last summer, I was watching my niece at Coney Island, and she was supposed to be waiting for her sister to get off one of the rides. Well, she decided to go over to the next ride and get on. However, I was following closely beside her, so I quickly got her and explained to her just how serious I guess she's saying the situation was. Man, these kids, man, they're so fast.